Does Auburn still need a fourth quarterback? What's the latest info on Chad Baker-Mazara? And let's take a deeper dive into this roster.
In the world full of podcasts, he's the undisputed heavyweight champion of hot takes, an Auburn sports homer, master of the boog, and message board legend. Get your buttons buttoned and your hats flattened because the Top Button Podcast is about to kick off. And you don't want to miss your courtside seat. Now, here's your host, Charlie Five.
Yes, sir. We're back. It's another episode of the Top Button Podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Rush, a.k.a. Charlie Five, and we are ready to get after it. It's like, I think, the 6th edition of Friendship Friday, and every one of them have been an absolute hit. So, hey, Boog and B, a.k.a. Brandon, you got some big shoes to fill. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Does Auburn need to bring in a fourth quarterback? You've heard Hugh talk about, I want to have four quarterbacks. Does Auburn need to do it? Is there a possibility of adding one late in the portal, the spring portal? The latest on the Chad Baker-Mazara saga, and is there a pathway for him back to Auburn? And then what's our favorite position group on this roster as a whole? Before we get started talking about that, first, we got to give a shout out to Uncle Keith's Red Sauce. Brandon, have you tried it yet?
I have not.
You got to do it. You got to do it. As soon as we get off this show, okay, you either have to go to your local Publix or you need to go to UncleKeith'sRedSauce.com. Use coupon code TheBarn30. They're doing 30% off right now for the rest of the month. There's only, a week left, I guess, in April. So you need to get on there now, save big, buy in bulk. They got mild, they got spicy. If you love salsa, you want to try it with a little Southern kick and support an Auburn family at the same time. Show them some love. Uncle Keith's Red Sauce. It's good, y'all. Brandon, man, welcome to the show. It's our, 6th edition of Friendship Friday. Again, they've all been rock stars. So did you bring your A game? Are you ready to bring your A game?
Yeah, let's go. I'm excited. The first rounds of this have been great, and I've been looking forward to this for 2 months.
Yeah, so you got your top button, which is you're already starting off on a huge note right there. So that's good stuff. So I want to start off, Brandon. First off, your name on the barn is Boog and B. How'd you come up with the name? First of all, that's a great name. I love it. How'd you come up with Boog and B?
No, y'all got the Boogin saying down at the barn, and as soon as I joined, I didn't want Brandon just posted there.
Yeah.
So my little Boogin heart just chose Boog and B.
I love it. I love it, man. You got to go when in doubt, Boog. So I dig it. All right, let's talk about quarterbacks. So Hugh Freeze, I guess ever since this whole, not roster rebuild, but let's just say roster retool, since you lost 2 quarterbacks in the winter portal. You lost Walker White, you lost Hank Brown, which, by the way, Iowa's brought in like 5 quarterbacks, it seems like, since Hank has gone there. That's terrible. But I digress. Since you lost those quarterbacks, and Hugh has always talked about having 4 scholarship quarterbacks. And I think that goes back to when he was at Liberty, and there was a time when it actually got down to the 4th quarterback. And he's kind of had PTSD ever since then. And there's been kind of talk, not necessarily any specific names or anything like that. There's been kind of talk that Auburn would maybe look at bringing in a 4th quarterback in this spring portal. There's not a lot of time left, but what are your thoughts there? Let's talk about quarterbacks in general, the need for a 4th quarterback, what you've seen out of the quarterbacks on the roster so far, and then just overall what you think about that whole 4 quarterback deal in general.
Yeah, first of all, you need 4. We got down to last year, and people were already calling for our 3rd string to come in the games. And
that's a great point.
That was halfway through the season. And he's already had it with Liberty. He finished the season at Liberty, if I remember correctly, on that 4th QB. But
I think he beat Arkansas with that 4th quarterback, if I'm not mistaken.
That was a big upset. I'm excited for Jackson Arnold. I hate that we didn't get to see him for A-Day. Deuce Knight, I thought looked great. Had one bad throw up in the middle of the field in the end zone for a pick. But he looked good.
Yeah.
And then Ashton Daniels, has he started practicing yet?
No, I don't think I think he graduates at the end of May. So he'll be here end of May, beginning of June. But like that's when you're just talking about last year to this year, that's a really big upgrade, just those three. And then, hey, if the right person jumps up, you're saying grab them. Like go ahead, get it. Take 4 quarterbacks into the season. Why not?
You got to have them.
Yeah.
So, with so many question marks going into this year, you need bodies there.
What would be the ideal quarterback scenario for that 4th role? I mean, like, do you want a guy that's, I don't know, like a journeyman type quarterback, or like a guy that's a younger guy, or a guy that's got, I mean, you already have Deuce that's a true freshman, or do you want like what's the best type quarterback, I guess, to fill that 4th role? Like what do you think Hugh needs to be looking for?
I think you need a younger guy. I mean,
Yeah.
So Ashton Daniels, I think he's a senior.
Yeah, he's got 1 year left.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, unless we strike gold, Jackson Arnold goes to the league next year. I mean, you're thinking Deuce the only person left. I think you bring in a young guy.
I'm with you. I could see that, and I could also see like, maybe a guy with like 1 year of eligibility that's maybe local or something, like close to the state of Alabama or something like that. Maybe that makes sense for him to want to come finish out his career at Auburn or something like that. I don't know. I don't know who that would be, but a 4th quarterback would be interesting. I'm going to give you my opinion. I think 4 is too many in this day and age. I think that first of all, if you get down to your 4th quarterback, more than likely you're in trouble anyway.
Yeah.
If you get to your 2nd quarterback, typically you're in trouble. So I would rather.
I like it. Fan base. Yeah. I love a 2nd quarterback.
Auburn fans always love the backup quarterback, so they always want to go to the 2nd quarterback. But typically, when you go to your 2nd quarterback, the level of play doesn't increase. That's pretty rare. So I'm just like, man, I just don't know, Hugh. I think let's dedicate that position to somewhere in the trenches or something like that. But he seems bent on adding that 4th quarterback to the roster. The portal closes, I guess when you're listening to this is on a Friday, so I think the portal closes today. If it didn't close at midnight last night, it closes at midnight tonight. So there's not a lot of time left. So either someone has to enter the portal that they're going to be interested in, or maybe there's somebody that's already in. We'll see how that plays out. But I know that the talk has been adding a 4th quarterback. I'm all for it if it happens. I just don't know that I necessarily see the need. I want to talk about – I have so many questions for you as far as your opinion on this whole Chad Baker-Mazara deal. Still has not had a visit scheduled. Could he come back to Auburn? What does that pathway look like? We'll talk about all of that here shortly. But before we do that, let's give a quick shout out to mybookie.ag. Use coupon code BARN, BARN, for a 50% deposit bonus. Give them $100. They're going to give you 50 back in free play to play with. You can bet every sports event you can imagine. I'm in Tampa right now when we're recording this. The Tampa Bay, I guess they're the Bolts now. They're not the Lightning. They're kicking off the playoffs tonight. Everybody's going crazy over it. So if you wanted to bet hockey, you could do that as well as any other sport. You need to check it out. Take that free play, win big, and then head on over. When you win big, head on over to rowback.com. Use coupon code BUTTON20 to take 20% off your order there. You got polos. You can button them up to the top, just like our boy Brandon right here. Very good top button polos there. All the other kind of spring and summer stuff they got as well. So check it out, rowback.com. We'll be back right after this. All right, Brandon, let's do it. Let's talk Chad. Look, first of all, how is your heart? How is your heart? Is it healed from him going into the portal? I know you love Chad. Tell us everything you went through as far as when Chad went into the portal.
I was frustrated.
Yeah.
I was frustrated because Chad does some stuff that I just can't get over.
Yeah.
But then he'll turn around and score 20 the next game.
On
And
anybody.
there's no in between. It's just a constant roller coaster. And I give him the benefit of the doubt. He's an Auburn man. I'm going to pull for him. For the second year in the portal, it's just he played.
You've been betrayed. You've been
Yeah.
betrayed.
He played this game, and now there's consequences. So I think he's in trouble. Not having a visit scheduled yet.
6 days. We're about a week now into him being into the portal. I mean, I personally would have thought in a vacuum there would have been a lot of schools come calling if Chad were to go into the portal. But when you take all of the baggage that comes with him and how Bruce just kind of let him be Chad. He let Chad be Chad. And like how many other coaches are going to be able to do that? I just don't know how many. There's not a single visit. And then you talk about the buyout stuff that we talked about on Wednesday. I mean, he's in trouble, man. I don't know at this point. I don't know at this point. I can't really see the roadmap for him outside of. I really don't see the roadmap to him playing college basketball quite yet next year.
And you think, I mean, the portal, I mean, it's new, but it's not that new. We think about 4 years ago when Zep entered, he got on with Zach and he was letting everyone know, like, hey, as soon as I entered, my phone nonstop was ringing.
Oh, yeah.
About the first person who was calling him was Steven. And it's just like, it happens just like that. Chad's probably thinking that's exactly what's going to happen. And I'm sure people called, but nothing's coming from it.
Yeah.
I mean, the writing's on the wall. So I don't know what his options are.
So let's talk about the option that I think I would be very curious, and let me know in the comments what you would think about this. If Chad were to return to Auburn, how you'd feel. I don't know that that's necessarily a pathway yet, but let's talk about if it were a pathway. I personally think if Chad comes back to Auburn, there's going to be some sort of grudge. There's going to be some sort of angst that will expose itself at some point in the season in some way. I don't know how that would manifest. I don't know if it would manifest in a bad attitude, a technical foul, I don't know. But what's the most if Chad were to come back to Auburn, what would be the most ideal scenario to, like, I guess, make it make sense, or like where you feel comfortable with it? Like, what would if tomorrow you heard the news Chad's coming back to Auburn and you get to lay out the best way for him to come back and it makes sense, what would it be?
Well, if he comes back and there's attitude issues, there's technical fouls, there's ejections, it's not a new story. We lived through this last year. I mean, what's going to be the difference? But it's the locker room that I'm so worried about.
Yeah,
with him coming back. But if there's a place for him to come back, it's going to be Auburn.
Sure.
Bruce loves him. Steven loves him. They let him be whoever they want to be. And that's the only program that's going to let them do that. So if it's going to work, Auburn's the only place it's going to work.
You mentioned it. You mentioned it first. You said the locker room. The locker room is the biggest aspect that you're concerned about for him to come back. I think it's got to be a team vote. The team's got to be on board with it. And the crazy thing is it's a whole new team. So it's going to be all the new guys, including Keyshawn Hall, who sort of was the straw that stirred this drink, so to speak, as far as what led to, all of these issues. And it wasn't necessarily him as a person. It was the deal that he received. So I'm with you. I think you got to let the team decide. You got to let the team. That's step one. Guys, I'm going to let you decide. Do you think we should take this chance? If you get, I call him Rad Chad. If you get Rad Chad, we're in for a really fun ride. But you also have to understand you could get bad Chad, sad Chad, and mad Chad. And all those Chads are, lead to issues. So I think you got to start there. And then as far as my worry also as well is going to be from the money standpoint is just that Chad with an idea of vengeance or Chad with sort of an idea that he's unhappy. So I think you would have to set a bad precedent, but I think if you offered him the deal that he passed up, the deal plus the bump, the last bump before he left, I think if that deal was the deal he came back to, I think that would probably get him a little bit more in the right mindset. But then, Brandon, then you send the message, hey, if you just go into the portal, you can come right back and get the deal that you had prior. There's just so many aspects. There's so many layers to this. I just don't 100% know that it really makes sense or if there's a real feasible pathway. He may just be looking at the G League.
Yeah.
Or taking a massive pay cut somewhere else.
Yeah. I mean, we see it. We see it with Nico. I mean,
oh, man.
It didn't work out for him. Is it going to be the same with Chad? Is he going to come back to Auburn? Is he going to go somewhere else for significantly less money than he was already going to make? I don't know. I think basketball and football portal is completely different.
Yeah.
You're managing 85 players versus really 11, 12, 13. Yeah. I mean, that's a big difference.
Huge difference.
I don't even know what to think about the locker room.
Yeah.
If he can come back, because it's not the same team. All of his buddies are gone. I mean, let's hope Tahad comes back on that. And then a familiar face, someone that's going to vouch for him, someone that's going to love on him. But that's the big thing. Bruce is not going to take guys in the portal. They're coming in thinking Chad's going to be on the team if they're not going to be cool with it.
Yeah.
If there are people that have issues with the team, I don't think Bruce is looking at them. I think the people that Bruce goes after are perfect culture fits for Auburn.
At least definitely now. Like it's got to be a guy that's willing to do the things that Bruce and Steven and those guys need him to do to be able to make it happen. So yeah, I'm interested to see how that thing plays out. So he's in a bind again as of the time we're recording. Don't even have a visit lined up yet. So we'll see how this whole thing plays out. I want to switch gears back to football really quick. The portal is just about done. Your roster is just about set. You basically got 4 or 5 guys coming in. There's a chance you could possibly add a few more. We talked about quarterback. I think there's an offensive tackle that's visiting this weekend. Maybe add those guys over the weekend. But for the most part, the roster's set. So you're looking at it. What's your favorite position group so far? Like as far as this team, as much as it's set, like what's your favorite position group so far, and maybe even like an underrated position group that you think could be really good for 2025?
Wide receivers.
Yeah, got to go wide receivers.
Wide receivers.
I should have said you can't pick wide receivers. So let's do that. Then
I would have had to think on it. I'll stick with the offense first. I'm excited for QB. I'm excited for a change. I love Jackson Arnold. I want to see what Deuce Knight brings to the table. I don't think he's coming here. I don't think he's going to be QB3. He's going to be on scout team all year, and we never see him. I think we're going to see him. I hope we don't see him game one.
Too soon.
Yeah, I hope we don't see him week 1 unless it's
a blowout. Yeah.
Unless it's a great Friday night in Baylor.
Yeah.
I would love to see that, but I'm excited for the QB room.
I'm with you, man.
I don't think we think about having a 5-star at QB. I mean, yeah, he didn't look like a 5-star at Oklahoma, but he was throwing to his wide receiver 8, 9, and 10.
Exactly.
With no offensive line.
With offensive line 3, 4, and 5 blocking for him, and a coordinator that was fired midway through the season. And the minute he was fired, they went right back to Jackson Arnold to try to carry him through the rest of the season. I'm with you, man. 5-star plus, like not just a 5-star. Every single recruiting service had him as a 5-star. He was like one of the top 5 players in the whole country, like not just not just any 5-star quarterback, like a legit talent. And I think people got too caught up. I think people are getting a little too caught up in the Deuce Knight hype. I think Deuce is really good and vastly far ahead of where they expected him to be. But at the end of the day, Jackson's the guy.
Yeah.
Jackson's the guy. The receivers respect him. The team respects him. The team is looking at him as being able to carry them to that next level this year. And I love I'm with you. I love the quarterback room. I think it's you feel much more confident now. And some of that's just because you hadn't seen it yet. And last year we did see what happens when you go to your second and third quarterback. This year, you feel like it's different. You just feel like it's different. And then with Ashton Daniels, the ultimate safety blanket that's got 2 years of starting experience, who, if nothing else, he could be an athlete and just make plays with his feet and make plays with his arm. I really like the quarterback room. I don't know if you feel like about this DB room like I feel, but I think there's an argument that the DB room as a whole, corners and safeties, could be as talented, maybe even more than the wide receivers. I love the guys that are the starters, and I love the young guys too in this defensive back room.
Yeah, no, it's loaded. Kayan Lee starting out, he's a stud.
Yeah.
Caleb Harris, stud. And then safeties, Sylvester.
Yeah, you got Sylvester. Then you got the young guys, Anquan Fagans, who had a couple of interceptions in the spring game. Eric Winters. I still have dreams about when Caleb Harris met Berrien Brown one-on-one out in the flat in that Kentucky game, and he just, true freshman, and just stood him up and put him on his butt. Like that kid's unreal. And that defensive back room just loaded with guys just top to bottom. So excited to see I know we're about to hit drivel season to where it's like, let's just get to when football practice starts. But, man, I'm really excited about this roster and how it's shaping out. I think it could be one of the better rosters Auburn's had in a very long time. Brandon, thank you, man, for joining us. You did not disappoint. This Friendship Friday deal has continued to be a huge success. You guys are rock stars. If you want to be a part of it, sign up for thebarnauburn.com. Brandon can attest. It's an awesome community, a lot of great information, a lot of great conversations, and you could have a chance to join Friendship Friday as well. Jump on here, be a part of the podcast, be a part of the show, and let us know what you think about Auburn. Let us know what you think about the rosters, basketball, football, it doesn't matter. Hey, golf is even killing it right now. Golf is a SEC tournament, should head into the match play as at worst the number 2 seed, but probably going to be the number 1 seed. So golf looking to repeat again with another national championship. So we'll talk about that as well in the very near future. So guys, I really appreciate it. If you like the video, like it. If you like the channel, subscribe to it. Hit that alarm bell, whatever you want to call it. Let you know when new content drops. We'll be dropping stuff here every single day. It's another episode of the Top Button Podcast. Stay buttoned.
Thanks for listening, and drive home safely.